Hello and welcome back. I'd like to give you a little overview of this 1938 Allis Chalmers B. It's the second of a group of 3 that I recently acquired. It's also the oldest of the Allis Chalmers B tractors that I have. I have 4 of them now. You'll see the third one in another video. Anyway, let's just give it a little overlook, and I'll show you one thing you've probably noticed right away. This one is completely non-electric. There's no spot for a battery. There's no spot for a starter. That does not look like the original oil pressure gauge. There's oil on the dipstick, and it doesn't look too bad. This magneto is very different from the ones on the other Allis Chalmers B tractors. Those are all Fairbanks Morse magnetos. This is an American Bosch magneto. I think it's interesting, even just looking at how the wires come out of the cap. We already took a look inside the gas tank in a previous video, but I'll give you a quick look again. It's not the most rusty it could be, but it does need to be cleaned out to use it, and I'm not sure if it leaks or not. One positive sign, if you look in the radiator, it still has antifreeze in it, so I'm thinking that the block is not cracked. It's also not leaking. So this is crank start only. Both front tires blew out when I was moving. I put a little bit of air in them. One of them blew out when I was airing it up, and the other one blew out when I was pulling it out of its parking spot. So those will have to be replaced. One little bit of a challenge I noticed with replacing tires on these, which you might notice, or maybe you're already familiar with, I was not. How do you remove that rim? The rim is riveted right to the hub, so you have to take the bearing apart to get the wheel off. That must be real convenient out in a dusty field. When I was pulling this tractor out of its spot, I realized that the steering gear was stuck. So I disconnected the steering right here. You just back this plug out. The ball goes up in there. I've got a wood plug in there. There's a couple of little spacers or whatever, that curved spacers that clamp around the ball. And so I just have a little piece of broomstick in there to keep them in place. But I had to disconnect that. The spindles, front tires themselves turn, but the steering gear is stuck. At some point, somebody has put a engine heater in this one, which I find is kind of interesting. That one looks like it has the data plate on it. Maybe if I clean that paint off, it'll be readable again. That just would show you all the little specs for setting spark plug gap and point gap and different things like that. The air cleaner appears to be in pretty good shape. It does not have the original mushroom on the top. And the exhaust pipe, I just have a pop can on it. It had a soup can on it, but it was pretty rusty, so I put a pop can on there. And you may have seen this in the previous video. That is completely packed with mouse nest. So, there you go. The clutch did seem to work on this, as did the transmission gears. I did not have it running. I'm guessing the engine is not stuck, so I will probably be able to get it running. But the rear tires are in pretty decent shape. They're the side that was facing the sun. That'll focus here. The side that was facing the sun is kind of cracked, but I think they'll hold just fine for what I want to use it for. There's the belt pulley. No hydraulics. Not sure why the PTO guard is upside down, but it is. The drawbar is missing. There would be supports between the drawbar and right up there, but they're missing. It's old enough it has handbrakes. They did seem to work. If you look, these ridges down at the bottom are for the latch. I don't know, that one's a little bit stuck, but that latch would flip up against those ridges so you could lock the brakes. You can see that one over there, maybe a little bit easier. Lock there. Anyway. This was the seat cushion that was on it. It had some old rotten boards underneath it, and to stiffen the bottom of the seat cushion, it had this old stove lid. So I thought that was kind of fun. It seems like it's in pretty decent shape. And there's the kill switch for the magneto. Gear shift works. So I think there's a good chance I could get this one running. Probably not going to really work on it this fall. It's getting to the time of year where I have to start getting all kinds of other things ready. So, and I do kind of want to finish up some more work on that 48 that I had been working on. So anyway, I will probably put up some more videos of this one whenever I get around to working on it. Thanks for watching.